Dreams. They're those things that get us most excited and make us wake up looking forward to a better tomorrow. No, I don't mean the space in which we go to in our sleep where fantasies come alive. I'm talking about the ideas that we all have in the back of our heads, whether or not we've turned our back on them. Our goals and aspirations, the places we want to see, and the stories we eventually want to have the means to tell. Though these ideas are very real, they're tangible. And just about all of them are workable in some way or another. One of the saddest truths imaginable is that somewhere down the line, many people forget this. They forget that we're here in this life to live, and that we as human beings with a prefrontal cortex have the ability to do extraordinary things. We forget that our imagination isn't simply here for internal entertainment. It's the very tool that created the telescope. It's the same tool that gave you Instagram and Facebook, and as an added bonus, it's the same tool we've used since birth to formulate the idea of who we think we are, whether we like it or not. So some may say that letting go of our imagination is just a part of growing up. But why would growing up mean losing one of our most essential and powerful faculties? You see, if you ask me, I don't think that we have lost the ability to follow through on our dreams. We've simply leveled up. And much like a video game, the rules are simple. The further you progress, the harder it gets. But the good news here is that the more challenges, or levels, if you want to think about it that way, that you overcome, the greater the gifts and rewards that you end up receiving down the line. So there's this trick that I have that has pulled me out of the deepest amounts of self-doubt and the heaviest moments of procrastination when working toward my goals. Now let's imagine ourselves within one of these moments of self-doubt. I'm going to use the example of my journey here on YouTube as an example. The first couple of months, they were a complete breeze. It was nothing but excitement and a consistent stream of ideas and inspiration for how I was going to go about this whole YouTube thing. But then I started noticing the naturality of my motivation and creativity becoming less and less strong. It became way easier to be distracted, and my belief in becoming a successful YouTuber low-key was starting to dwindle. But then I remembered that this is just one part of the process that it takes when doing great things. I remembered all the other times I set out to make something of myself or achieve something huge. It's not supposed to be easy. The struggle and the grind and the blood, sweat, and tears that come with it are what makes the outcome so ridiculously fucking sweet. You know that moment when you've poured your heart and soul into something time and time again, only to be let down over and over? And just before throwing in the towel and giving up completely, you give yourself the benefit of the doubt and take just one more step. And to your surprise, you come face to face with the biggest breakthrough of your life. Now, I know that this is a pretty specific example, but look at all of those who have found success in following through on their dreams. All of these success stories, they have a common denominator. They're made up equally of a lifetime's worth of tiny steps matched with a handful, if not less, of massive breakthroughs. So my number one trick to hack myself into gear is this. Whenever a thought of doubt, laziness, or distraction comes into my head, I ask myself this: does this bring me closer to my goal, or does it bring me farther away? And yes, I do realize that this exercise is very linear and black and white, as you might think, but finding success in the smallest or most bold of all aspirations is as simple as that. It's your choice, and it's up to the work that you're willing to put in and how badly you want it. And so to give you guys some food for thought, imagine for a second if you never again had to discipline yourself. Imagine if staying dedicated and inspired was as easy as going to Amazon and ordering anything your heart could desire at the click of a button. And have you noticed that whenever you are inspired and motivated, paradoxically, your efforts are nearly effortless? It's as if you're on autopilot and there's this magnificent, creative, and intelligent force working through you. And you're basically like, who is this? And you're completely proud of the work that you've done. Well, if you look at it this way, your only real challenge is staying in it to win it. There's a whole world of success waiting for you, but there's equally a whole world of failure out there. And it's in your best interest to not be afraid of either of them. But if there's one thing that I've learned, as I said earlier in the video, life is a game, and you have all the tools necessary to play it the way that you want. Your imagination hasn't gone anywhere, you just need to make sure that you're using it effectively. By the way, I do want to say as a side note that it is totally more than okay to have a shitty day or a shitty week or even a shitty month where we indulge in doubt and procrastination. I've found that kicking back, being lazy for a little while, and putting everything on hold can be extremely refreshing. Honestly, I've found it to be very healthy for my state of well-being. You are the creator, so play the game by your rules. But again, next time you're feeling absolutely frustrated with yourself, ask yourself this simple question. Does this bring me closer to my goals, or does it move me farther away? And after that, act accordingly. So look around for a second and notice that this moment right here is the only moment that will ever exist. And it's in your power to do with it what you want. God, Jesus. Whew. And so no, I don't know how to knit, but I'm freezing my ass off so much that I now have the motivation to learn how to do so that I can knit myself a sweater. But Ryan, I don't have wings, so how will I ever be able to fly? Well, no, you're right, you don't have wings, but if you start learning to become an engineer and build on a blueprint to create a mechanical wingsuit, then you may just be the first person to invent flying as a means for personal transportation. But I'm just not smart enough for that. Well, who says so? If it's anyone but you, then you're listening to people who don't know you nearly as well as you know yourself. But if it's your own opinion, then it's time to hit the books and start replacing those thoughts with the knowledge needed to bring your visions into reality. So the most important piece of advice that I can give you is to continuously pull your attention back to the task at hand. If you've noticed by now, there will always be distractions and haters and that voice in your head. But do any of these things have the power to take away your momentum? Well, I don't know. Do they? It's your actions and your responses that are going to decide that.